Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Allie. So today I thought we would talk about my reading recap for so far this year, like a little bit of a mid-year recap. I know we're a little bit past mid-year, but I figured it would still be fun to talk about the books that I've read so far because I've been super into reading lately and I feel like I'm going to read a lot more books before the end of the year. So I figured we could do one now and then one at the end of the year for the rest of the books that I read. So far this year, I've read 10 books, which I guess doesn't sound like a lot, but I feel like I read a lot in the beginning of the year, like January, February, and then I stopped for like a long time, and then the past couple months I've been reading a lot of books again. So let's get into it. One of the first books that I read this year was Call of the Dragon. I'll have everything on the screen here so you can see it. This book, I loved this book. I loved it so much. It's a series of 6 books. I've read the first 3 so far this year. This was such an interesting book. It's very similar to books like Fourth Wing. It was written before Fourth Wing, so don't get any ideas. But it is so good. It's about a woman who has built her life as a thief and a treasure hunter, and she is tasked with one more thing from her former boss, to break into a dragon rider's home and steal an artifact. But what she finds there is actually a dragon egg, and the dragon egg hatches when she touches it and then bonds to her. So after the dragon bonds with her, she has to go to the Dragon Riders Academy, and she has to learn all things about riding a dragon, and there's like an impending war coming. So this is a very, very interesting book, and I've loved the series so far. I have the 4th book next that I'm going to read. Here's the 4th one here. I'm going to read this probably this week. I like that they're like pretty short. Obviously 6 books is a lot, but they're all like kind of like shorter, especially for like a fantasy book. I feel like fantasy books are always very, very, very long. And it's a little daunting. Like, it's nice to be able to just pick up a book and like read it pretty quickly because it's not that long. But yeah, I've really loved this series. I think it is very interesting and I would definitely recommend it. So those are my first 3 books. I don't think necessarily it was in that order, but I've read the first 3 already. So that's 3 of my 10 books that I've read so far this year. The next book that I read was The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I listened to this on audiobook on Spotify. This is the 2nd book in the duology of The Serpent and the Night and the Wings. Serpent and the Night and the Wings of the Night. Serpent and the Wings of the Night is the 1st book, and I loved this. I love these books. I really like this author. Something interesting that I really like is this author has different duologies of different characters like built in the same world, and I think that's really interesting. I haven't read the other ones yet, but I do have a couple of them on my bookshelf. I need to read them. They're on my TBR. So I'm excited to read those because they're super interesting. I really love that. So this book follows an adopted human daughter of one of the rulers of the vampire kingdom. So she's trying to survive in the vampire kingdom as a human. She ends up entering into a deadly vampire tournament called the Kajari, where she has to fight to the death with all these other vampires. The winner of the tournament is granted a wish by the goddess of death. So she is trying to win so that she can have her wish granted. And it's very interesting, and a lot of things come out that are pretty surprising. I feel like I didn't really see some things coming. Sometimes you can see things coming in books, and sometimes you're like totally blown away. I feel like I was like maybe only slightly surprised. Like, it wasn't like the craziest thing, but I was definitely surprised. It wasn't like super obvious, but I really enjoyed this book. The romance in the book is great. I really enjoy it. It is a little spicy. Whereas the Call of the Dragon, that series, there is no spice in this one, if you were wondering. But I really enjoyed The Serpent and the Wings of the Night. I really enjoyed The Serpent and the Wings of the Night and the 2nd book as well. I think that duology was really great. I'm excited to read more duologies in the same world by the author because I think that they're so interesting. And actually, one of the books just came out very recently, and I actually picked it up at Barnes & Noble. So, gotta get on that. As much as I love a very, very long series when I really love it, I think it's also nice to like have someone's story completed in like two books, and then like also have in the same world other characters as well, so you can get more of their background and more about their life. The next book that I read was another audiobook. This one was called Run for the Hills. This one was really cute. It's not really like any other books that I have previously read. I feel like, I don't know what made me read it. I think maybe it was either part of like a Goodreads challenge, or I just found it when I was browsing Spotify audiobooks, but I really enjoyed it. The audiobook was really good. Sometimes I'm very picky about audiobooks. I feel like I really have to like the person's voice to be able to deal with it. And if I don't like it, then I'm not listening to it. And it like really puts me off of it. So I really like this one. So this book is about half siblings who discover each other. They had no idea that they existed. They all share the same father. So they travel across the country together and they learn about each other more. There are multiple siblings that they pick up along the way, and they're on the way to try to find their father and get answers about what happened, because he ended up abandoning all of them, obviously, to start new families. So it's very interesting, super cute. It's really cool to see the dynamic between the siblings and how similar they are, despite like not even growing up with each other, not knowing each other or anything like that. It is very cool. I really enjoyed it. It was very cute. I definitely recommend that as well. The next one was another audiobook. This one I do remember I found while browsing Spotify audiobooks, because I was looking for like a shorter book that I just wanted something short and nice, like a little novella, something short. This one was about like an hour-long audiobook, which was really cool because you don't see many books that are that short. But it wasn't necessarily a book, I guess. It was more so like Chinese-inspired folklore, like a retelling of some folklore. So this book is called Ye Xian and the Celestial Feast, and it was super cool. There is a fox spirit involved. I found this one pretty similar to like Cinderella, because it's about this main character whose stepmother and her stepsister are very, very rude to her. They're not the nicest. She's definitely mistreated by them, but it's really cool to see, since there's the fox spirit involved. So I really liked it. It was really good. It's only an hour, so I definitely recommend that. It was a nice read. I really enjoyed it. The audiobook was good. I liked the voice for that as well, because like I said, I'm picky with an audiobook. So if I liked it, it's worth it. The next book I read was actually The Angel Experiment, which is definitely a young adult book. I read this book in middle school. It was my favorite book in middle school. It's really what got me to start reading again, I feel like, because I read it during like silent reading time in middle school. So I really enjoyed that. It was super interesting as a child, and then I wanted to reread it again for like nostalgia and because I just remember loving it so much. So I reread it, and honestly, I still loved it. I don't even care. I still loved it. It's so cute. And I never actually finished the series. I don't know how many books are in this series, but I never read it all because obviously I didn't own the book. It was like part of my school's book, like in my classroom. My teacher had it. So I never ended up finishing them. So I think maybe I will. I think I'll try to finish them all for my childhood self, and because honestly I just want to know what happens. But this is a very good book. I really liked it. It's about these children who were like experimented on in a lab for their whole lives. They have like superpowers. They're like supernatural kind of powers, and they have wings, and they're being hunted by the people who experimented on them. And it's all about like their life. They're not related per se, but they're related because they're like siblings, you know, from this lab, from the experiment. And they learn all about their past and how they ended up at the lab and all this stuff, and it's really interesting. I really liked it. The next book I read is called A Woman is a School. This book was really great. I definitely recommend it. It's very interesting. It's a memoir by a woman who was a refugee from Lebanon, and her life surviving the war in Lebanon, and her perspectives about the war with Israel. It's a lot about her life and her family's life surviving the war and how that has impacted them today. And a lot of her family still lives in Lebanon. So it's interesting to see from a direct perspective from someone who has encountered this. Like I've said before in a previous video, Mark is Lebanese, so I figured it would be a very good read to learn more about it, and I would definitely recommend it. It was very interesting to read about the lives of her family members too. It's all about Lebanon, stories from Lebanon from her family from 1948 to 2023 when she was writing the book. and it is very interesting to hear about their family tales and all the things that happened to her in her life. The next book I read, which I actually read very recently, is Wicked is the Hollow. This one was such a good book. I really, really like this book. I read it in 2 sittings, basically in like 2 days. Like it was crazy. Like I really liked this book. I was thinking about it like when I wasn't reading it, you know, like that's how you know it's a good book. I wasn't expecting this book at all. I was very surprised by like what happened in this. There is a second book, which I do have right here. I got it the other day, so I want to read this probably this week, and I'm very excited to see how it concludes because it is just a duology. So I'm excited about that. There were a lot of twists that I wasn't really expecting at all. So this one is about a girl who moves to a town where a lot of mysterious things happen, and she loves mysterious things, especially after her mom disappeared. So she's trying to like wrap her head around that. She loves all sort of mysteries. She has a little mystery podcast with her best friend, and she eventually moves into a house in this town where like the biggest infamous cold case happened. So she gets to discover this, and then she ends up actually finding herself right in the middle of a mystery in this town. So there's a lot that like, it's just surprising. It's like not your typical like mystery book. It's like a little bit, it's like supernatural, so I guess more so like fantasy mystery. I don't know how I would really classify it. I don't know what the genre technically is, but I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to reading the second book. I'm sure I will read this one very quickly as well. Also not like a huge book, so I feel like it is a pretty quick read. Let's see. It has 369 pages, so not a ton. I feel like that's like a good size of a book. So I'm very excited to read that. I'm probably going to read that right after this because I'm so excited, and I've been so excited for like all week since I got the book. And then the final book that I have read is The Glow of the Everflame, which is the second book in the like Spark of the Everflame, that series. I'm not sure what the series is actually called, but I do know there will be 4 books total, and the 4th and final book comes out next month, which I'm so excited for. So I have the 3rd book already, and I'm so excited to read that one as well. I've really, really enjoyed this book. I feel like the series has been really, really good, but the thing is with this one, like I said, I did see a lot of it coming. Like especially in the first book, I kind of expected what was going to happen pretty early on, but I don't mind it. Like it didn't bother me that I already knew. It was still like super interesting, and I liked being able to like follow it along. I really liked it. So it's a slow burn, enemies to lovers, which I love. I love a good enemies to lovers. I love the slow burn. It needs to be slow. It can't be quick. It can't be that quick. I hate when they're like so quick. It's gotta be slow. I need yearning. That's what makes it good. So this is about a mortal girl who lives in a world with god descendants called the Descended. Makes sense. But there's lots of politics with the Descended versus the mortals. The Descended don't really want the mortals around. The mortals don't want the Descended around. So there's a lot of drama with that and politics that are involved in that. But I really enjoyed this. She is a healer who ends up going into the like town of the Descended. I don't know what you really want to call it. The part of the town where the Descended live, and she is helping healing for the Descended. So it's very interesting. I really like it. I'm very excited to read the next book, and then the final book comes out next month. So I'm very excited for that too, because sometimes when a series isn't finished, it's so tough waiting. Like Fourth Wing, I read that right after it came out. I read Iron Flame as soon as it came out. Onyx Storm, I got as soon as it came out. That one took me a while to read. I don't know why. That one took me a lot longer to read. I enjoyed all of them, but Onyx Storm definitely took me longer to read. But now I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for the next one. And it's going to be 5 books. And the 4th one's not out yet. And we don't have a date. And then there's that little mini book coming out about Threshing Day, which I'm excited for. But I want the next book. So, like, the ending of the Onyx Storm was just so crazy. I need the next one. nothing to do with that because I didn't even read that this year. So those are all of the books that I've read so far this year, our little mid-year recap of all my reading. I am excited for the rest of the year. There are a lot of books that I'm looking forward to reading. My TBR is growing every day. I keep getting videos of people's recommendations and my TBR is growing. I have a whole bookshelf here. I just got a new bookshelf. I have too many. I need to read the ones I have, but I keep buying new ones. So, I'm excited for the rest of the year, for the books that I read, especially since spooky season's coming. Gotta have the fantasy books. Fantasy books in spooky season, so good. Also, I am currently listening to the audiobooks of Harry Potter. I have never read Harry Potter. I've never seen all of the movies. So I'm finally getting into it as an adult, even though I don't like the author. But it feels like something, when a series is this big, like everyone knows it, you know? Like I feel like I need to know it as well, especially because I never got into it as a kid. But my workaround is not paying for it. Thrifting the books or listening to the audiobooks via someone's YouTube video. I found someone's YouTube video actually where he reads the books. So it's perfect. The author doesn't get any money out of me. So those are all of my books and I hope you enjoyed, and we will make this video at the end of the year talking about the rest of the books.